Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm here with a demo, first impressions, and review of the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation, as well as the Complexion Perfection Pre-Makeup Base and the Face Blend and Buff Complexion Brush. The brush is basically just a dense, angled, kind of kabuki buffing brush where it has a flat top on it. It is synthetic. For the primer, it can really be used 3 different ways, which I had no idea. It can be used as a primer, it can be used on its own as a lightweight moisturizer, and you can actually mix it in with the foundation if you want to kind of thin out the foundation and give it a more natural finish. It has dimethicone in it, so it's supposed to be super blurring and perfecting to the skin. It also has rosehip oil, so it's going to give you hydration along with that perfection. And just based off of the fact that there's dimethicone, I'm assuming it's going to give you kind of a velvet matte blurring effect. For my foundation, it is a full to medium coverage foundation, and technically it's meant for people with any skin type. It's going to give you a full coverage matte finish, but they say that it has a little bit of a sheen to give you a mild luminosity to the skin. It's supposed to cover and blur out your skin texture while also covering hyperpigmentation, scars, redness, and the appearance of blemishes. It does have argan oil and Centellia asiatica, both known for their hydrating properties, and it's supposed to be a fade-proof formula that blends seamlessly into the skin. I got the color Leches, which is 320G. All this information with links and all the things that are going to be on my face by the end of this video, I will leave down below in the info box, so keep an eye out over there for everything. So this is what the foundation looks like. It does come in plastic packaging. Do I kind of wish it was glass for the price that you're paying? Maybe, but on the flip side, it is lightweight. It's going to be more durable and easy to travel with. It does have a pump on the top. With each foundation, you actually do get a little mini sample of the makeup base. So if you wanted to try out both of them together, you probably just need to buy the foundation technically, and you can try out the base and then buy it separately if you'd like to. This is what the base looks like, matte black squeeze tube kind of effect, but it does have a pump. So this is what the primer looks like. It's definitely thick. This is 1 pump of primer, and I'm just gonna rub it between my fingers and then apply it. It feels thick on the skin, but even though I have combo skin and sometimes it does get oily, I like thicker creams because I would prefer being oilier than drier. I'm going in with a second pump and just placing that everywhere and kind of pressing it into the skin and also rubbing. It does have a scent, but I personally don't really get bothered by scents unless it's something that actually makes me feel kind of sick. I had a lot of like dry, bumpy texture on my nose and on my forehead too, but it just feels really smooth and hydrated. I had a lot of dry skin right here too, and it's not grabbing or emphasizing. Now for the foundation, I have cleaned my brush off, but I also have a beauty blender ready to go. I want to do half my face with the brush, half my face with the beauty blender to see if the brush is really something that you should invest in or if you can do a hard pass on that one. So I have 1 pump here, actually a little less than 1 pump. Oh yeah, that's coverage. The brush feels really nice. Wow. Now I'm gonna go in with my beauty blender. I'm gonna take another pump. So this is what I have left on my hand. And then I'm just going to blend that out. This side was the brush, this side was the beauty blender. It looks really nice, I'm not gonna lie. It's super full coverage. The color match actually worked out pretty well. It definitely feels thicker when you put it on, but as it sets, it doesn't feel super thick or heavy. It does take a little bit longer to dry down, I feel, and it has not a super sticky finish, but it definitely feels like I have something on my skin. It's not really emphasizing the pores that I have across my nose and on my cheek area, which is nice. That's where I have the largest and most difficult pores. However, it is already emphasizing my like marionette lines and the little lines that I have here on my Cupid's bow and some pores that I have here. It is also a little bit on the forehead, settling into my little forehead lines. I think I really like the beauty blender side more than the brush side. I feel like here is where I have a lot of my redness, and the brush side, I can see the redness kind of peeking through, and even on the nose here, I can see a little more texture, but on the Beauty Blender side, it's a lot more even, there's less texture, so I think I like the Beauty Blender with it. I am gonna go in and just try to add coverage to see how it layers. The foundation does build up really nice. It is definitely full coverage. Like, you can get there in a minute. But for now, let me go ahead and finish putting on the rest of my makeup to see how everything layers on top of it, and then I will be back with my first impression. And we're back. I will say that the separation around this general area is still definitely there. Around the edge of my nose, it has also creased, but everywhere else, I really enjoy it. It looks very pretty. My makeup on top blended beautifully. Also, while I was applying my makeup, because of all the colors and everything that's on my face, there was a lot of dusting, a lot of buffing, so I was fidgeting around with my face quite a bit, and for all that I did, it looks pretty good. I'm gonna finish up some work, run some errands, and I will be back in a little bit to check in with my final review. We are back. It has been about 6.5 hours or so that I have had this foundation on for. I'm at the end of my day, about to take everything off, and so here are my final thoughts. First and foremost, I have not touched up with powder. Usually when I'm filming with like my lights and if I'm out for the day, I get super shiny right through my T-zone area right here, and I'm constantly needing to like blot and remove the excess oil. I don't think I look shiny or oily, and I have put highlight down the center of my nose. I will say the same issues that I had during my second check-in with the pores here, the marionette lines, the upper lip, and then my forehead, all still there. I think the only places that have really gotten worse or more noticeable is my like upper lip around the edges of my nose and maybe slightly my forehead. In person, I feel like those issues make it look a little bit cakey. Like, someone would definitely be able to tell that I have a full face of foundation on my skin. So that's the only downside, but maybe it's just me. And to be honest, I would 100,000% wear this foundation for filming. I plan on playing around with it and seeing if I mix it in with the primer, if it won't do this. I am glad that I own this foundation. Let me put it that way. If you have very dry skin and you have like eczema on your skin even, or psoriasis or dermatitis, I say get a sample of this. Don't buy it just yet, because I feel like it might emphasize texture caused by drier skin. That being said, if you have any other skin type, if you have blemishes, you have blemish scarring, if you have hyperpigmentation, discoloration, redness, definitely give this foundation a shot, because it is super full coverage. Some of you are gonna be like, but you were talking about how it's like separating and emphasizing texture and stuff. Yes, this area is a little bit annoying, but to be honest, most of my foundations do that anyways, and I have tried foundations that have just been horrible all over my face, and in comparison, this one is beautiful. I think the finish of the Beauty Blender was nicer than the brush. It's a nice kabuki brush. It's dense, it's soft. Do you need it? Probably not. As for the primer, I really like it. It blurs and really perfects the skin, which a lot of times blurring primers can be drying or can emphasize dry texture, and this does not. Definitely these two are a must try at least. That brings me to the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this demo first impressions review. Leave a comment down below for me and let me know what you thought. And if there are any other products you guys want me to review, let me know and I will get to those ASAP. But until my next video, thank you guys as always so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys soon. Bye guys.